guys, we're here today working on the Gladiator, and it seems to be pretty popular on the channel, so got two projects we're working on today. The first one is obviously the bumper is missing, and I couldn't be happier to get rid of the stock plastic bumper. It wasn't a very good bumper, it didn't look very good, and I'm happy to be rid of it. So today we got a bumper. I'm not going to tell you just yet which one it is, but you'll see soon enough. Basically, our first step is for fitting our new bumper. Basically, these inserts right here for the old brackets for the old skid plate are in the way, and our new bumper is going to slide in and use this hole right here. So basically, this is too thick for the new bumper to slide in. The edge of this catches. So basically what I'm going to do is grind these down. These are like a nut cert, and once I grind this off, the other part will just fall out and come right out the bottom. So I'm going to go ahead and grind those out of the way. Alright, so now that we ground the head off of that little rib nut there, basically we can just come in here now and just knock it right out of the frame, and so now the frame is clear and able for our new bumper to slide in. Next step is to take this hole right here and drill it out to 9/16 as per the directions, and also these holes up here. And of course, you know, in case we wanted to do this from the next stall over, I got this really long drill bit. It's the only 9/16 I could find, so we'll just use this one real quick. This is the bumper that we're getting ready to put on. This is the Metalcloak Frame-built Bumper, and this is basically your first piece. This is your winch plate and your main structure for the bumper. So now that we got everything cleared out of the way, you can slide this guy up into place here and reinstall these stock bolts right here. Hold it in. Okay, and then we got these little spacers that go right back here, and so eventually all of this will bolt up together here. Okay, so obviously this isn't all bolted up yet, but this is the base for the frame-built bumper. And this thing checks off all the boxes that I wanted to have. So the first thing is I needed a winch plate, obviously. The second thing is I was going for something that was kind of light but strong. And I also needed shackle mounts so that I could flat tow it. So this is your frame, which has your shackle mounts, your winch plate built in, everything. Got spacers back here. We don't have all the hardware in yet because the next part to this bumper is basically it's modular. So after you get your frame part in, then you get your skin, which is basically gonna bolt over the top just like this. And then once this all bolts together with all the bolts, this will be the skin for the bumper. Okay, so beyond your skin, you have a couple of different options for caps. So basically, because I wanted to retain my stock fog lights, I got these light cap ends, but they also have a stubby end, and then they also have these light cap ends. So basically, once we go to bolt all this together, this end cap's gonna come on here like this. It's all gonna get bolted down, and then you'll have a place for your fog lights, and you'll have your bumper ends. So after we get our winch installed, we'll slide all the hardware through here and put all this together. So it's a pretty cool system. Okay, so our next step, basically in bolting this bumper, we have this lower bolt where we drilled out the 9/16 hole earlier. Basically, you're gonna have your bolt, which is gonna go through right here, and then basically you gotta reach up inside this channel with the nut. So I just have a long pair of needle nose, and before I put that together, I'm definitely going to put some Loctite on there. Okay, so now that we got our 4 bolts back here all tightened up and this is ready to go, before we put our next piece on, which is going to cover up the bolts where the winch goes, we're going to go ahead and drop our winch in And right now we have easy access to the holes for the winch. We can attach that real easily right now versus later. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab the winch and we'll drop that in. Okay, so we got our winch mounted up. So we did encounter one problem. We always told you we'd let you know these things. Metalcloak has 3 sets of holes in this bumper. They have one that's far over and 2 more that are over towards the left. And I'm sure the problem I'm running into is because I'm using a 9.5 Ti, which is recycled off my TJ. I've owned this winch for probably 10 or 12 years. So because this winch was hitting over here, basically what we did is we re-drilled a set of holes in between their other holes and mounted the winch. So now we've got the winch is mounted solid in the bumper. It's ready to go. Now we can continue to put the rest of the bumper together. Okay. The other one? So now we're going to basically put our new bumper cover on. I'm going to go ahead and slide that guy in there like that. Okay, so now this cap is going to go on top like that, and then we're going to have to fish everything. Take this one out. Alright guys, so you've seen us in the shop. We were installing this Metalcloak bumper, and we're out here in the rocks, and we wanted to kind of show you the finished product. So there was a couple of criteria for choosing this bumper that I had. The first criteria was I wanted the winch to sit down in the bumper. I didn't want it to, I didn't want it to sit on top, and I didn't want to block the cooling, in case we want to tow something or, use this thing to its capacity. The next option that I had to have was these shackle hangers, which Metalcloak rates to flat tow with, which is something we're going to be doing here in the near future. Is we're going to be flat towing this. So Metalcloak has a nice bracket that replaces the shackle here, so we can flat tow it. The other thing is, maybe kind of a silly thing, but I wanted to keep my stock fog lights. We live in the mountains, and all the light that we can provide while we're driving, it gets super dark where we live, so I wanted to have the fog lights. So with the end caps, we were able to keep the fog lights. Now later, if we decide to go a little bit more hardcore, these 4 bolts here, I can unbolt this cap and I can put a stubby cap on here. So it gives me an option. This bumper is, has different options. You get different hoops and different end caps, and you can really kind of customize it to your needs. The other thing that I really did like a lot, which was kind of not on the list, but it was a bonus, Metalcloak's fair lead is really nice. It's actually as wide as the winch is, so that it's a full width fair lead, which is really nice. I did have to modify the bumper for this particular winch. It was going to sit offset, so I did have to drill 4 new holes for the 9.5 Ti. I recycled this off my last Jeep. I also recycled these IPF lights. So in order for that bumper to fit and center it up with the fair lead, we did need to drill 4 holes. But other than that, it's a great looking bumper. We've also got their skid plate down here, which is great. And we've been out here on the trail today, and so far we haven't touched it in the rocks, so it's obviously a good shape. And I really like this bumper, so we'll give you a report later and tell you how it's holding up.
Hope you enjoyed the video. Please like, subscribe, and share, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.